And I want to just come on and talk to you guys, about, and I know I've kind of talked about these things before, but I just want to tell everybody out there, like, don't allow people to make you feel guilty for taking care of yourself. And that could be any type of way. You know what I'm saying? That could be from a fitness point, that can be from a spiritual point, that can be from a mental point, that could be not tolerating certain things in your life no more. It's crazy because when you start to value yourself, when you start to say no to the things that are disrupting your peace, because it's peaceful vibes only, over here. But when you start to say no to the people and the things that are disrupting your peace, a lot of people don't like that. And when you move on with your life, when you grow your life, when you progress your life, when you start, setting goals and achieving those things, like when you just do what you said you were going to do. See, the problem is this, like, especially when you start out with people or whatever it may be, or even just people you might not even know, nobody's really tripping when you really ain't doing it, right? Nobody's tripping that when you have the ideas. Usually you might have some people that doubt you, but nobody's tripping when you start off in the process, because a lot of people, just to be honest with you, don't believe that you can achieve it. Like, a lot of people don't think that you're going to value yourself, right? So nobody's tripping. But once you start making it happen with your life, once you start valuing yourself, once you stop accepting less, once you stop settling, once you stop tolerating disrespect, once you start taking your body to a level that you never took it before, that's when people start to feel, I guess I'll use the word a little envious, because you're now having that confidence in yourself. And we live in a world where, a lot of people don't want to see that. And people will try to make you feel guilty. People will try to say you changed. And I tell people all the time, my values and morals haven't changed, right? Maybe my mentality has changed, which we should all should change in a way. But people want to chain you to your past, or people want to, spread rumors about you or gossip about you or talk about you to other people, or don't want to be around you because you're no longer settling your life. I mean, in relationships, we see it all the time, right? We move on with our lives and we start to, get over that situation. We start to move on. We start to do better. We start to realize that we can really survive. Like, without that situation in our life, we start to realize, like, wow, like, my life is kind of better. My life is more peaceful. Yeah, I went through that period of hurt. I went through that period of trying to find closure. I went through that period of going through my reality. But then I went through that period of repairing my life, and I realized, like, I can actually survive without that situation in my life. And a lot of people are very selfish, right? They don't care if you're happy with them, but they sure don't want you happy without them. And that's very unfortunate. And I want to tell you guys, don't let people make you feel guilty for that. Don't let people make you feel guilty for deciding not to maybe hang with them no more, or deciding not to do the same things that have gotten you nowhere. And people might call you lame. Like, I've heard that before with people, like, oh, Trent, you're lame now. Like, you really don't do much. Like, you just kick it with your family. You just go travel and speak. Like, that's not really fun. I'm just like, are you serious? Like, that's the goals for me. Like, as you mature, as you grow, I feel like your definition of fun changes. Like, that's my fun. My family's my fun. My purpose is my fun. I don't have to go out somewhere and pretend to have fun. I don't have to do whatever. So you got to realize something, man. Everybody's not going to get your change. Everybody's not going to agree with your change. And for darn sure, everybody's not going to support your change. And sometimes we start to feel guilty because people make us feel that way. And so I want to tell you, don't feel guilty. I want to tell you, especially when you're doing nothing wrong, when you know that it's positive with your life, you're not trying to hurt people. You're not, your heart, your heart's good. You're trying to do the best you can with your life to not only help your life, but help others. And when you know that, then don't trip. Don't trip at all. There are some things going on in our lives that we all go through this. There's some realities I need to face personally. And as I'm telling you guys this, I'm talking to myself. But I went to yoga today, and the thing I love about yoga and stretching is that, I'll go in there tight, right? I'm like super tight. I've been lifting, training hard, trying to get my body to where I want it to be, where I need it to be, because I've been hard on myself, honestly, too. That's a whole nother story. But I go in there and, at first it's tough. It's hard. I actually did 2 hours work today. And that second hour was easier because I became looser. I became more free. I became open because I had to go through that process of of being tight, of being constricted. And that always reminds me of our lives, man, because, when we have stress in our life, we're so constricted. When we have worry in our life, we're so constricted. When we have fear in our life, we're so constricted. And naturally, we're human beings. We're going to have these things. And sometimes, though, we choose to keep these things in our life. We choose to stay around these things. And just like I made a choice today to go free my muscles, to go free my body, to go actually free my mind, we have to make those same choices in our lives, man. Like, we can't expect healing if we're staying in the pain, right? We can't expect to feel like we're worth something if we're staying in situations. And this is not just relationships, people. This is, maybe it's your habits, just whatever it is for you. We can't expect us feeling like we're worth anything when we're staying in situations where we're worthless. And so I get it. It's not easy, right? It's hard. Today for me was hard, but I know I had to go through it in order for me to get to it. And I'm sure you heard me say that before. I know I had to go through the process in order for me to get to the place, the destination where I want my life to be. And so what we do for a lot of us, and I've been guilty of it too, is that we try to win our war by running from our battles, right? We try to sweep it under the rug, right? We keep sweeping things under the rug, and eventually we thinking these things are not going to be under the rug, but those things just stay there in our lives. We just suppress, right? And then eventually what happens? That suppression leads into depression. That suppression leads into mental issues, right, with us. That suppression leads into anxiety because we're not releasing, we are suppressing. My process of rehab is what? Reality, release, and repair. And the only way you can release something from your life is that you have to face those things, right? And so I want to encourage everybody out there, like whatever it is for you, like please go face it. It's not going to be easy. It's not going to be hard. It's going to be very uncomfortable. But I've learned that growth, I've learned that strength, I've learned that elevation takes a lot of being uncomfortable. One of my sayings now is I'm very comfortable with being uncomfortable, especially with me going through this fitness phase I'm in right now. I know it. I have to go through it in order for my body, in order for my mind, in order for my spirit to go to a level where I needed to go. I wish I could just think it. I wish I could just snap my fingers and things change, but it doesn't work like that. So you have to face your battles every single day. Okay. And acceptance is part of it. Like sometimes you just got to accept certain things in your life. You have to accept where you're at. You have to look in the mirror and say, you know what? I'm here. You have to look in the mirror and say, you know what? I'm a little broken right now. But last time we checked, broken crayon still color, right? You got to say, you know what? I'm not where I used to be. I'm not where I should be. But you know what? I'm going to appreciate where I'm at now because I know that I don't have to stay here. I know I have a choice to grow from here if I decide to do it. That's called facing reality. Facing reality is looking yourself in the mirror, and you say, I'm not going to accept less. I'm going to go through this process. Some of us, we never face our reality because we're trying to find closure. I want to tell you right now, just listen to me. The only closure that you need to know is that you deserve better, whatever that means for you. Like I said, this is not just relationships. This could be a personal thing. This could be a spiritual, whatever it may be for you. Realize that you deserve better because the thing that you're trying to wait on, maybe it's the apology, right, that you're trying to wait on. Maybe it's something in your past that you're waiting to come back up. Maybe it's the opportunity that you're waiting on. I don't know because I don't know your story, but I do know this, that you could be waiting on something that might never show up for the rest of your life. And it keeps you in a place. So the first step of this rehab process, and this is actually in my book, and you guys have been following me when I talk about this, is reality. And I need you guys to face it, period. Doesn't mean you have to conquer it today, but I need you to face it. I need you to stop lying to yourself. Like for real, I need you to stop ignoring things. I need you to stop sweeping things under the rug. I need you to look yourself in the mirror and say, what, this is where I'm at today, but I'm not going to stay here. I'm not okay. I'm not okay. Right? But it's okay to not be okay. But it's not okay to stay that way. And so these are conversations that you have to have. I had to have that conversation with myself just yesterday. I say, you know what? I am not where I want to be. I'm not where I want to be. And I can sit here and ignore it all that I want. I can sit here and make up excuses all that I want, but I'm not where I want to be. So I say, you know what? I got to face my reality. And today was one of my first days of facing my reality, and it sucked. It sucked. And I'm about to go face another reality in a second. It's not comfortable, but I understand in order for me to get to where I need to go, I have to go through things that I don't want to go through. I have to grow through things, right? I have to put myself in uncomfortable situations in my life in order for me to get to where I want to go. I had a person reach out to me and basically tell me that, and I respect them and I respect what they say, but it's like loyalty, nobody owes you loyalty. And I agree with that. Like nobody owes you nothing. But at the same time, you don't owe it to me, but I expect it, especially if I'm loyal to you. Okay, especially if I've been there for you. I've gotten to a point in my life that I'm no longer going to keep throwing punches for people not throwing punches for me, because I know that's going to drain me, and I refuse to be drained because there's so many people depending on me being the best me. This is just the reality of life. Loyalty is rare. It's crazy that you can be there for everybody, but when you need somebody, nobody seems to be there. You know, fake people don't surprise me anymore. Loyal people do. It's crazy that you can be there for their struggle, but when you go through yours, don't be surprised when they forget about you. But that's life. No matter how good you are to them, doesn't mean they're going to treat you the same. No matter how much they mean to you, doesn't mean they're going to value you the same. It's like, it's always the ones that said they would never change. They end up being the main ones that change. They go from being real to acting strange. They go from giving support to giving pain. It's insane how you can do so much for a person, and yet they still feel comfortable talking down on your name. Like you wasn't the one that helped them get it right. Like you wasn't the one that sacrificed so much for their life. But people tend to forget about the favors when they become haters. And just like that, they'll switch up on you overnight. They'll go from talking to you to talking about you. They'll try to throw dirt in your name to stain your character. So before someone even gets to know you, they already start to doubt you straight up. With no hesitation, they'll try to ruin your reputation by creating false accusations just to benefit their situation. It's true. You know, it's not for you to over question people in your life that are real. It's none of that. But it's just, you got to realize, man, like, we try to control people so much, like, and we try to make people be something that they're not. And we want people to be loyal to us, and we try our best and we lose ourselves just to have people to be loyal to us, or we do all these things just to make, like, you got to realize, man, like, someone's loyalty is just something that you can't control. Either somebody's going to be loyal or they're not. And that's a part of it. And I realized with my life, man, I love people for who they are. You know what I'm saying? If you're not loyal, then you're not loyal. Like, I know who you are. You know, if you're a liar, you're a liar. If you're a thief, you're a thief. You know, I know who you are. And it don't make me hate you or nothing like that. I just understand who you are. And so my expectations of you, I expect you to be who you are. So who you show me you are, that's who I expect you to be. Let me change that. Who you show me you are consistently, because anybody can show you anything. But who you show me you are consistently, that's exactly who I expect you to be. And that's how I place people in my life, honestly. So I might depend on somebody to give me loyalty if that's not what they do. I'm not here to make you live life alone or anything like that. But I'm to a point in my life that I would rather be alone, even though I'm not. But I would rather be alone than have people around me that make me feel alone. You know what I'm saying? I would rather, not have my circle small than have a bunch of people that I know when stuff hits the fan, they're not going to be there for me. You know what I'm saying? So, and it's nothing against those people at all. But just with my life, I'm through extending myself so much because I've done that so much. I can always say I feel great. I feel no guilt to anybody in my life because I know I've always tried my best to bring positive and peaceful vibes and helpful vibes to people, and opportunity to people. So I always feel comfortable at night and I can sleep with that. But I refuse to be used. I refuse to be disrespected. I refuse those things because, like I said, man, I got a family I'm living for. I got you guys. And if I'm not in the right space, then the only thing it hurts is the people who need me to be in the right space. So that's why I always say, guard your heart, protect your life, protect your peace. That's why I say those things, man, because trust me, I go through it too, just like you. Let's get it.